Hello, good morning. This is TK, and welcome to Coach on the Rocks. Lovely to see you this wonderful Friday, and I'm hoping that you are starting a wonderful day and looking forward to a beautiful weekend. Yeah, ending the week, exiting the week. On Fridays, we premiere our wonderful episode of the podcast at Humble Associates called Leading with Agility. You can find it at our podcast player. And for a couple of weeks, I had a bit of a tradition to say things that we haven't necessarily said at the podcast that came to me after recording and editing it. And this time, the podcast is about the wonderful area of employee experience, how important it is for employee motivation, engagement, what tools you have, what's the role of leaders. Check it out. Definitely a good listen. Well, hopefully, I did my best, along with Arif, the host. But there's one thing that we've only touched upon, which I think is really big, and we didn't have the time to expand on it further, which is the employee experience of leaving the organization, exiting, getting sacked, walked out of the door, however you want to call it. It's something that, well, happens to many people. I'm not saying most of us. And I think this experience can vary a lot. And you would think that since it's the last thing you do for someone in the organization, it isn't that important. But you would be wrong. People will remember your organization and the job you do as a leader or the member of the HR people team through the experience on how their last day has been, how they left the organization. Other people will see it. They'll talk about it because it's such a big and dramatic event. There's no doubt about it. There's no, walking around it. It is a big and dramatic event. Whether a person leaves at their own accord or they are asked to leave, there's always. It's a very emotional experience for many people and, can be very traumatic. I was reflecting on my own experiences through my career as an employee and as a consultant. So, for instance, when I was working as a contractor, thankfully, as I now have my own business, the risk of me being sacked is a bit low, but definitely the clients have their own ideas. Still, when I was an employee, I was always leaving on my own accord. I always had thought that the time has come and it's time to leave. And I'm reflecting on my last days in the few jobs I had. Yeah, I remember my first one when my last day was really lonely, and one person came in and they've talked to me, and it's really empty. And this famous cardboard experience was definitely there. The first time I had my exit in my last day. Can't remember my second time. No, I remember my second time a bit, but vaguely because I was just so excited for the opportunity going forward. But the interesting thing is proper cooperation the second time. No one really bothered to have an exit interview with me, and I would definitely be quite open to share many things. Not necessarily frustrations, but maybe even being grateful for what had happened. But I remember, we had a bit of a get together, a leaving due. Um, the third one when the person that succeeded me actually walked me with me to the tube station when leaving the office. I still remember that very well, and it's very interesting to see what has been the role of leaders and people teams throughout this process. From the moment that they have received the news from me that I'm leaving, if they wanted to keep me, try to renegotiate, try to counteroffer me or not, how did they behave, how did the people team behave, has a huge impact on my personal memory from this particular time. That's definitely an interesting thing when I became a contractor. And yeah, at times I wasn't renewed. Sometimes, sadly, my contracts were terminated before they ended. Yeah, I never had a proper self-preservation index. I was always talking truth to power, and sometimes it's controversial. But I remember, I've worked in an organization, an investment bank that was famous for sacking people by a lady from HR and a security guard with a cardboard box walking up to your desk. And I've seen it myself. HR lady with a clipboard, security guard with a cardboard box. You're supposed to put your stuff in, and you're being escorted outside of the building. And some people have worked there for many years, and I've seen that happen. I was lucky when they terminated my contract. They actually gave me a day to say goodbye. And you know what? I felt really special that I had this opportunity. I can quickly go and hug people and say, I was in such a shock, but I guess they got used to it. And it's like, look, I remember this particular person. I went to a different office to say, all right, well, you might not be expecting this, but I'm leaving. I need to leave now for my flight, but I hope we will meet again. And I gave this person a hug. I was so shocked. But then again, even this experience was something positive that they took, for various political reasons. I was let go, but they gave me the respect of being able to say goodbye. And I think these kinds of experiences are well remembered. I'm sure that many of you viewers have your own experiences. And because of the emotional load that happens there, you will remember them for quite some time. So if you're a leader, if you're a member of a people team, even if you think that this person is no longer your concern, that's a very important moment. And, as a leader, do your best to escort them and make it a decent transition for them as much as you can. And as a member of the people team, it's your job to help leaders understand that they need to do it and help them and train them through the process of the formal letting go or getting someone's notice or resignation, and the process of the final days. Such an important thing that we shouldn't neglect, because it will have an impact on everyone, despite the fact that it's being easy to neglect. But I'm hoping that your exit from this week, which is Friday, is going to be wonderful. So I wish you all the best for Friday. I hope it will be an easy Friday for me, but it somehow isn't. Lots of client meetings, lots of hopefully great work, and with my team at Humble Associates. And I wish that maybe for you, it's a bit less busy and you can enjoy the transition. See you on Monday for the next episode of Coach on the Rocks. Bye-bye.